Alright, hello, hello, hello. Hello Tikare, welcome. I messed up the what do you call it, the message that people get, the notification, the live notification. I forgot that I had to change that still, and it got a little bit late for the stream. I had some technical issues before, and yeah, I kind of forgot to change the message, so basically false information. I changed the title. The notifications, it's not Saturday. Yeah, it's Ratchet Clank Monday, because I have decided that Monday is chill day and Ratchet Clank is chill, so we are going to play Ratchet Clank on Mondays. And let me quickly close some doors, because the apartment I live in basically has a not airtight front door, and you can hear people coming from the what do you call it? In German, it's the Treppenhaus. Like the staircase, basically. Is it the staircase? Just the staircase? What does translate say? I guess it's just the staircase, yes. So basically you can hear people talking from outside if I don't close the door. So that's not good. And therefore I need to close at least the main door of my apartment, so that nobody from outside can hear me, and I can't hear anybody from the outside. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How did your week start out? I had a holiday today, so my Monday has been moved to Tuesday, and I was chilling most of the day. I did start my OBS at around like 4:30, and noticed that my technical setup just did not want to work at all. I, as you probably already know, I have a plugin that allows me to basically use OBS from my gaming PC to stream in my internal network to another OBS that also has the plugin. I'm good. Chill day today. That's great. Chill Mondays are always even better than most other chill days. Like a chill Friday is something people usually have, but a chill Monday is, in my experience, pretty rare. So yeah, great. So yeah, basically I have this plugin that usually works, but I dared to update it after last Friday's stream, and it worked fine the next day, no problem. And then today it just decided to not work, and I did get it fixed. I don't know what it was exactly, because I updated. At first, I just updated the Windows NDI plugin, and I thought that was it because everything worked fine after that. But apparently, I don't know if I needed to update just the NDI source in my Linux OBS, or if I actually needed to update the whole plugin. I did both, and it did work after that. But yeah, being on a 2-hour deadline basically, because some update didn't go as planned, is something I try to avoid. But I couldn't avoid it this time, because, god damn it. Some things... It's still Monday. I still felt a Monday. So yeah, that was the fun thing I did today. Other than that, I just some days ago, I think it was on Thursday, I got my Nintendo Switch 2, and I gotta say, it does feel a lot better than the Switch 1. Like, for example, the Mario Kart. I did get Mario Kart World, and from the first screen to the races to the level design, everything just a lot better than Mario Kart 8. For example, the menus. Already, every menu in Mario Kart 8 had like already some smoothness compared to other games. If I remember correctly, Mario Kart Wii, since the Wii was, I think, 720p still, the menus did really on a full HD screen. The menus did look weird. That's cool. I never had any Nintendo consoles. Yeah, I can recommend getting some of the classics if you want to, but there's also Raspberry Pi equipment that you can preload if you know how to get the ROMs. Usually, people will not tell you where to find those ROMs for those games, so you will have to go look for yourself and be aware that there are sites out there that will try to capitalize on you trying to download ROMs illegally. So if you want to be safe, don't do that. But yeah, if you're careful, you can find sites where they will actually allow you to get those. And obviously that's all not quite in the legal realm, so don't do it. But if you want to do it, you can, and there is Raspberry Pi ready software that will allow you to use those ROMs. So the Pi software itself isn't illegal, if I remember correctly. The only thing illegal you can do and shouldn't do is downloading the ROMs illegally. If you don't have the games, you shouldn't do that, obviously. But yeah, if you have those ROMs, you can use them on the Raspberry Pi. Get some, like, what's it called, Super Nintendo and Nintendo Entertainment System controller. Plug them into the Raspberry Pi and use the Raspberry Pi, which you can then call RetroPie, and I think that's the name of the image that people use to do that. You can play the old Nintendo games that you maybe missed out on, and a lot of them are really great. For now I have too many games to play, but I might check it out in the future. Yeah, obviously Raspberry Pis are usually a project that you will be doing if you decide to get one. They are kinda Linux based. I think they have the default... Linux is basically a add-on anyways. Like usually it's GNU Linux, which means GNU is the base software, which is also kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit harder to to explain it in non-technical terms, but just like Linux, like Fox, I have PlayStation Classic, so I think I can mod and get games on it, even Nintendo. I don't doubt that, actually. PlayStation modding has always been a little bit more open than Nintendo modding, because Nintendo usually seeks out the homebrew stuff and tries to fix it and get it to not work anymore. While PlayStation, I don't think that PlayStation has ever done anything really against homebrewing consoles. Or not that I heard about it, because I think that you can still use the very first methods of homebrewing your PlayStation 2 to just play any ROM, basically, that was released when the PlayStation basically released the PlayStation 2. But personally, I don't like modifying my hardware, my gaming consoles. First of all, there does come the risk of accidentally destroying the console in the process, which I obviously don't like. It's like wasting money if you don't do it right, and yeah, that's not really what I want to go for. PlayStation Classic is just legal emulator with some games already on. Okay, so it has Raspberry Pi, if I remember correctly, inside. Okay, so they just literally just took the approach of, yeah, we have this Raspberry Pi, let's emulate stuff. I see. Yeah. But I also know that you can basically homebrew like PlayStations from I don't know when and use guides from I don't know when. Like PlayStation, I don't think has ever really taken actions against homebrewing and stuff. So if you want to, which I can't recommend because you can destroy the PlayStation, and let's face it, just buying the games on sites like Rebuy for like $10 or something is a lot more fun at the end of the day than to homebrew the PlayStation that you can get for like $30 and buy the game for $10. Like if you really don't have that money, then yes, sure, do it. You will still be at risk of destroying that $30 console by accident if you don't do it right. But if that's what you need to do, basically, then sure, go ahead. But I don't recommend it. I really don't think that you should do it. But that's for everyone what has to decide. But yeah, the to be honest, the old Nintendo games, if you don't if they are not on the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2's internal emulators, basically, they do offer, if you have the online prescription for those retro games, you can get the retro game consoles from them. And if they don't support the game that you want to play, obviously that will also be a little bit harder then to get. But yeah, there are really good Nintendo games from that era on the NES and SNES. I have PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, so I only can play PlayStation 2 games. I can play PlayStation 1 games on PlayStation 3 because they work on it from CD. That's interesting. I do have the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. I still think that the PS4 and the PS5 are kind of rip-offs because they basically only have the Game Pass thingy or the digital copy thingy. And if they ever decide to just take off PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 support, you will not be able to play any of those games. Of course, this also applies for any virtual copies on Nintendo, so I do not buy any virtual copy games of Nintendo if there are physical ROMs to buy. Because ROMs, even if your system is, I don't know how old, if you get the last update, you always will be able to play those games. And even if you have like a stored away day one Switch somewhere with a ROM cartridge, you probably will be able to play that game even 80 years after Nintendo goes out of business or something. So you will be able to play those games if they are on ROM. And that is why I will always prefer to get physical media over any other virtual buying method. I buy them digitally, knowing the risk of that. They are much cheaper during sales. Yes, they usually will be cheaper, but in the long term, basically you will have an investment into that company. And if you want to keep your games, you will have to make sure that the company stays in business. So basically every time a customer profits off of the sales, you also get a more investment from the customers to get your to keep your company running. So yeah, basically the same problem does apply to, for example, Valve. But at this point, I think I will be. Valve will probably, if they don't do a really big oopsie, and they are not really doing anything, so doing an oopsie is really not a thing they do, because they don't do anything. They won't really. Yeah, I think they will outlive me at this point. And if they don't, I will have lost thousands of euros in my Steam account. So yeah, I too do have a little bit of an investment into Steam and Valve. However, I do trust that they will not go out of business soon. And maybe, just maybe, there will be a day where regulations will force Valve and other companies to allow people to get a physical backup copy that works offline or something. Like in the old games where you had game keys and stuff. So maybe there will be some regulations where they have to give you, for example, a key, a unique key or something that will only work offline or something. So if you, basically can't verify or something, that key will be necessary or something. I don't know. I don't know how the technical stuff would work in this situation. Maybe you need a drop of blood or something, I don't know. That would be really funny if you just, I don't know, needed to give the fingerprint, and if you want to play the game you have to fingerprint scan. There's Stop Killing Games, they try fighting that, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Stop Killing Games was, I think, something that was against live service games, if I can remember correctly. And live service games is a whole different can of worms. I do think that games in general, like single player games, or games that have mostly a single player game campaign, should be playable offline. But you will also have the argument that MMORPGs, for example, will potentially need a lot of people that play. So you could argue, yes, for example, let's say Fortnite. Fortnite goes out of business and needs to get the game into a state that can be played offline. So why would you play Fortnite offline? There are no players, you are alone, you can't play with anyone, so you will basically be stuck in a lobby searching simulator. There's nothing really you can do with the game. The game is basically bugged at that point. You could argue that you can install bots and stuff like that, but it would definitely be not the same experience at the end of the day. So what else can you do? You could force those companies to allow people to host their own servers after they go out of business. But what if you are a indie company that basically is barely surviving and tries to get people to play the game, of course. And then there's a rival company that thinks to itself, well, if we can get them to go out of business, we can host our own servers. The people will be happy. The company that we are rivals of goes out of business. And we can take that stuff and host our own stuff. It's a nice thought that those games could be played even after the company dies, but it also comes with the risk of the smaller companies just getting targeted if they do a certain type of game, for example. So you really need to think about what you are trying to demand. And it needs to be a lot more thought out than we want games in general in a playable state, obviously. But I do think that, for example, most of the games that Valve offers are offline playable games that should be playable even after the companies die out. And even when Valve dies out, there, in my opinion, should be at least some way to still play your games that you bought. So there is a lot to think about for those demands. But I do think in general that digital copies are usually not the way to go. We can't really not have them because it is the standard, and usually people don't care about those things. They don't think about these kind of things. So yeah, it is a lot deeper than just I want to play my games offline. But for Nintendo, obviously Nintendo does not really offer any battle royales or something. So in general, if Nintendo tries to do the old, yeah, we're not doing ROMs anymore, then I too will probably drop Nintendo games because I will not buy anything from Nintendo that is not a ROM. I do understand that the indie developers that are releasing on the Switch are not always able to make a ROM print, which is fine. I will still buy stuff that indie developers can put out that is digital copies, even if I tend to lose them after someone decides to pull the plug. But yeah, indie developers is a different standard at the end of the day. Like in my opinion, there should be laws specifically for mega corporations. Because those mega corporations already have established themselves in a good position and have certain powers that they can use to mitigate stuff that middle to small companies just can't handle. But that are only my thoughts at the end of the day. Nowadays, even physical copies of games don't have the full game. You have to download the rest. Yeah, for sure. There are also day one patches and stuff, which I really which adds to the problem, basically. if your game is not in a playable state at day one, why did you release it? But in general, if your game works on day one without the whatchamacallit? If your game works on day one without a day one patch, because I don't know, you released the game but forgot to add the game start game menu button or something, like that's really just malicious at the end of the day. But yeah, usually you will be able to play games on version 1. There might be fatal errors that you can encounter that have not been found in testing, which is fine. QA isn't perfect, and sometimes deadlines will make sure that quality assurance cannot be assured, despite the name being quality assurance. There's only so much you can do as a programmer to do the stuff quality assurance tells you. And it will usually be managers that demand unrealistic deadlines. However, if your game is a completely broken mess on day one, it's not a good game. Really, like there has been at least there have multiple people will have fucked up if the game does not work on day one. If it needs a day one patch to fix something critical that the game does not work at all, basically, it's a multi-layer mess up. And yeah, sometimes where it basically comes back to my thought that you should, as an individual in a company, be more egoistic. So if your manager comes to you and tells you this has to be done in 5 days, and you know that it will not be done in 5 days, I think you should tell that manager. And if the company's policy is to fire you just because you told the manager that you will not be able to fix that thing in 5 days, then maybe that company isn't good for you, even if you really like working there. I know that most people in gaming industry are in the industry because they have fun doing the kind of stuff they do, but it's almost more egoistical to say, okay, I love this job, so I will let this abuse be done to me. Is almost more egoistical than to tell that manager to lengthen the deadline. But I also know that not everyone is in a position to do that, because that job probably, especially in game development, that job will pay minimum wage usually, and you will be doing time crunch and overtime unpaid. So yeah, you will be overworked and underpaid the whole time, and it is scary to quit those positions because game development isn't really something that translates to a lot of other stuff in any industries. So it can be hard to find a different job if that is a concern. But yeah, it won't get better if the individual does not do anything about it. So be more egoistical in the company settings is my general advice to everyone. Okay, but I think we've yapped enough, and I will now go over to the gaming screen. Change the category, obviously. Where is my edit? There. Alright, now I know that there are multiple Ratchet and Clank categories. This is the correct one. Alright. And bam. So, last time we left off in the space station. I did already load the game to shorten the loading times a little bit. And ooh, something doesn't look right. Wait a second. Alright, that looks a lot better. I have a screen, basically. That's a good idea, that reminder. Yeah, I should somehow... I need a reminder for the dashboard for my stream manager to change my titles and categories. Or maybe I should, after stream, already change them, so next time I start the stream I don't have to change anything. Because I still need the notifications to be right. Hey Jay! Hello, how's it going? Your stream today was really chill. I really enjoyed it. Jay is another VTuber, which I will give a shout out shortly. How did I do that again? Yes. Oh, first of all, this shout out. And there's also the official shout out I learned, which is the command. Yes. Alright. Yeah, welcome. It's OG Ratchet & Clank on the OG console. I have lots of stuff that I set up. Thanks for being there. Thank you for this shout out. Yeah. Yeah, Jay is a Blue Jay VTuber, basically, and played Factorio today. So, if you don't mind, you can leave him a follow and be there next time. He is super awesome and really chill, so he definitely deserves your view, in my opinion. Awesome, mine bros, sadly. Yeah, I think you can get PlayStation 2s, the slim versions, for example, for pretty low money. At least here in Germany, I got a PAL Switch, not Switch, a PAL PlayStation 2 for like 30 euros. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, no problem.
I got some great
yeah, but I got this PlayStation 2 for basically no money, and the games, I already had the games, so they didn't cost me any money too. And with a little bit of setup magic, I could get the analog.
This shuttle has an autopilot which will take you to a decommissioned LARP warship. Our scanners indicate that there may be useful technology on board.
Yeah. So if you need any tips on how to connect a PlayStation 2 to the PC, I can provide a little bit of information. But basically, I have a AV converter to HDMI and run a HDMI cable to an HDMI grabber. And it works like a charm. It has a little bit of delay, which I want to say. It's like 1 or 2 frames of delay, which can be annoying if you are used to instant feedback from anything. That's kind of you, but I would emulate it at this point. Yeah, sure. I just really love the OG hardware. It has a, in my opinion, way different feel than to get a controller that is not quite the original controller. it just feels different, and also of course the quality on the emulators will be better because obviously I'm working, if you work with the original console, you will have a, I think, 480p resolution, which obviously is not everyone's gusto, but I don't mind it. It was a kid, so my parents threw the games out too. Okay. Why would you do that though? Why? I never understand just throwing out stuff, like at least looking up what it is and what you can get for it on the internet is like a thing I always do. But I guess older generations don't know that. Or they've never really lived that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't understand why people just throw out tech. They didn't care, they thought it was worth it. Yeah, but even like usually even parents should know that on a flea market or something there are usually people who will at least give you the price that you set. Even if it's $5. And sure, if you're lazy, then you can just say, okay, I don't want to go to a flea market and throw it out. But it's really just kind of wasteful to not look up if something is really worth something. Like even discs, like floppy disks, you probably can, if you find any floppy disks with data on it, you can probably still sell them to anyone on a flea market. For a good price too, I think. Alright, while we were talking, I infiltrated this little ship, and there is a big red shiny button that we can press. And once I press this button, we will be on our way back to the start of this little ship. Which is a warship apparently. I forgot that this is an actual warship. So yeah, we will press that big shiny button, which is conveniently placed at the control panel of this ship, which does not have any other real control panels other than this, I guess. Which is hardly a control panel. Let's face it, this warship, I don't know how it was able to do any damage, but we will destroy it now. Because obviously we don't want them.
Selecting our automated self-destruct feature. Vessel annihilation sequence initiated. Please remove all personal belongings.
Yeah. As he said, we want to remove our personal belongings, which includes our head and shoulders. We don't really need to care about the enemies coming out of here. If we just run around them, they can't really do anything. They all do the same amount of damage. They will always do exactly 1 damage, so yeah, they are not dangerous enough for us to care, and we can just run out. So we destroyed the warship, which gives us this little infobot.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from Blackwater City. We've just learned that Captain Quark will be presenting the grand prize at the Intergalactic Hoverboard Championship, which will be held here over the next few days. In related news, this planet has recently been suffering from an infestation of strange amoeboid creatures. The city's administration has assured this reporter that every step has been taken to eradicate these nuisances. Darla Gratch, Channel 2 News.
Did you see that?
Yes, I hope that poor woman is all right.
She's fine, I think. I was talking about the hoverboard races.
Yeah, so Ratchet is apparently very enthusiastic about the hoverboard races. After the last time we were on planet Iridia, we did get the hoverboard from Skid McMarks to basically be part of the hoverboard races. So we will go there after we are done with business here, which includes 2 more routes. We did go the warship route. We still have this route, which is basically a little Clank section, which is, I think, the first Clank section of this game. And we will send Clank to explore outside the station. So this is Clank mode. We are very, very helpless as Clank alone. We can punch things, which usually will one-shot small enemies, but will never be enough to manage the big guys. So we will surely need some help to manage some of the bigger bad guys. We do get teased with a gold bolt over there. We cannot reach that right now. This will be a thing that we will get later. However, I will not tell you what we exactly need for spoiler reasons. But yeah, we will get it later. There's also some, let's say, puzzle. If you are greedy and destroy this box, then you will not get these boxes. So don't be greedy, and you will be rewarded with a lot more bolts than you would be if you just went ahead and destroyed this box. Which is quite a nice quote-unquote riddle.
Then press and hold the X button again while in the air to glide.
Yeah, so we still have the helipad upgrade after Big L gave us the upgrade in Metropolis. We still can use it when we are on our way as Clank. Now, these enemies are pretty harmless. We can just mash them away. Clank does not auto-aim. He will throw his punches in the direction where you aim the stick. So it can be a little unintuitive if you are not used to the stick controls. Like, for example, I usually a player of mouse and keyboard games, so my aim with a control stick will be a lot worse. But even then, the enemies are not really in any way dangerous. So we can just go this little path, which is I recommend just using the camera to aim where you want to go and then use the D-pad to walk forward, because still the movement with the control sticks are kind of messy sometimes. So I can only recommend to occasionally use the D-pad. They do fix the problem with weird controls in the second Ratchet Clank, in my opinion, where it's a lot more direct where you go. Like, for example, if I press to the right now, I do make this 180 turn. But sometimes when you're walking and you're turning, then I don't know why, it just feels weird sometimes. And obviously the side walking also helps a lot in the later games.
You have just activated a gadget command a gadget bot, hold down the triangle button and select wait, follow, attack, or enter.
Yes, so we just got the gadget bots, which will help us kill this guy. We would not be able to kill him alone. Or we probably would, but we would take a lot of damage, which we do not need to take. And yeah, these little boys will help us through the game if we play as Clank. And this was just a tutorial. We will send them back home now and grab whatever this is. Yeah, so we grab the gadget and we will now be able to go back.
The Gadgetron Hydro Displacer uses insta-faucets and insta-drains. Using it, you can drain and fill pools. Our sensors do not detect any on this space station.
Yeah, so we just got the explanation what that thing is. It's basically whenever there is a special faucet, it will let us drain water. And this station obviously does not have any of these faucets. So we will show Ratchet what we got here.
I'm back.
So you are.
And I found this.
Hey, cool. It's what is it?
A hydro displacer.
Great. I always wanted one of those, I guess.
Yeah. So Ratchet also doesn't know what we will use this for, but we will use it soon enough. However, what I want to do is we have this quick select, and you see that the quick select is now full. I will, as soon as we have more weapons, I will just put the gadgets away, because the gadgets are really you can just press start, get the gadgets, and go on. The only gadget I will keep is the swing shot, because the swing shot actually has a lot of applications in the game and is a movement item. Other than that, all the gadgets we get are very situational, and they will usually just take up space if we put them in the quick select. So as soon as I have more weapons to apply to this quick select screen, I will throw out the gadgets and just go into the gadget mode every time we need them. Because in later games they have like a context sensitivity button, basically, where if you stand on a platform where you need them, like I think Conker's Bad Fur Day and Banjo-Kazooie did it first, where you basically have a dedicated button for lots of actions that are not specific, and will just be it will just be the context action button, and you will be using that button to just use any context sensitive action, which in this case then would be a
Try your taunter.
In this case will be just, for example, the minigame that I needed to do before going to the warship. So yeah, we got the taunter last time before I end the stream, which is a great item because this guy is sitting there with his gun and shooting. However, once we use the taunter, he will go really mad and run into the lasers, which just happen to be there. So yeah, the taunter will allow us to bait those enemies into just I don't like this situation, so I will pause and select my stuck cannon. But yeah, we can now bait enemies into running into lasers. Easy, yeah. And yeah, for example, this one. Usually in the newer games, just standing on this platform that just turned red will give us the option to just press triangle, and it will automatically use the trespasser in the later games. However, this game does not have that. This game still wants you to select the stuff manually. But it's fine. It's really not that... It's not something where I say this is the worst thing that could have ever happened. It's just quality of life stuff that they fixed later. Oh yeah, this one I remember, the ball one I think that was in the second game. Yeah, the second game has two of those minigames. One is the ball game that you mentioned, where you have a electric path basically that goes around a 3D ball, and you can kind of guess where you need to go. But I don't really like the ball game because it's basically at some point just a guessing game, because you can't really 100% make out. Do I really want those? I don't know yet. Because you can't really make out where you need to go next, other than on a guess. Which one has the thing where you shoot those green projectiles with rotating walls? That would be Ratchet Clank 3. That is the third installation with the... Whoops, I am dead. That's my first death. I forgot that these things are up there. Alright, not really a problem. We just need to go through the whole thing again. Ooh, thank you, Razor, for following. Thank you. Yeah, old games, a little bit more punishing than what I am used to from nowadays. However, not a problem. We will just be more careful next time. But yeah, the third game had the... God damn it. Talking about being more careful and then just getting hit again. The third game had the basically... You shoot the red stuff and you grab the green stuff, and in between there are like shields. The second game had the ball, the rotating ball, and also a... What would you call it? It's like a circuit board, basically, where you turn some... By the way, how are you doing, Razor? I didn't ask. I didn't ask how you're doing. I'm so sorry. I know you are having some trouble lately, so I hope you're doing well today. Need to go get back to work. Just wanted to pop in and say hello. Enjoy the stream. Thank you. Obviously appreciate every lurker. It obviously helps, for example, getting my affiliate. And it's also just nice to know that someone's out there listening to me. So the more people listening, obviously, the happier it makes me. Just knowing that there are people who actually want to hear what I have to say. And I hope you're enjoying whatever you need to do now. And if it's not something you're enjoying, I hope it won't be too hard on you. So, alright, there's a guy that I actually think is a little bit more dangerous, so I will quickly select these guys to help me out here. Yeah, but the minigames, overall in Ratchet Clank, the hacking minigames, usually I really like them. I can't quite remember if they still had hacking minigames after the fourth game. The fourth game didn't have any, I think. The only thing that came close to hacking minigames after the third... I don't think there were any anymore. I think the last real hacking game was the one where you have to grab the green stuff and destroy the red stuff. I think that was the last actual hacking game. So yeah, we are releasing these mutants, which are pretty dangerous. They still only do 1 damage, but the cutscene sets us up in a way that is really unfortunate for us, because we are basically just standing there waiting for the mutants to eat us, which you can help mitigate a little bit by just planting some Agents of Doom before starting the cutscene. It makes it a lot easier to handle this situation, but you still can just go into reverse here and just go back if it gets too dangerous. Now, I think we are getting close to the last part of this. Yes. Up there again, one of the a little more dangerous guys, because he has the AoE attack, which still only does 1 damage, but it's an AoE attack, so it does have a lot higher probability to hit me. So I do not want to get too close to him. It really is not a good idea. Yeah, this room, there's a lot of the small enemies, which makes it a little harder to use the Agents of Doom, but we can do a little hit and run and grab ourselves some ammunition and run back to get rid of those guys. Other than that, this room is pretty empty. We do get a little bit of ammo back and a little bit of boats, but not really anything in here, except, I think, if I remember correctly, there is one of these cells, basically. And if I remember correctly, we can go through the back of the cell to get a gold bolt over there. So yeah, and there are also some boxes, a little bit of bolts. So we will be grabbing that gold bolt and get those boxes. Alright, and we are almost at the final room, which will be a boss room. We have a little boss battle on our hands. I want to be sure to be stocked up on ammo, which I should be, yes, okay, perfect. Because we do have again these mutant enemies, which are actually pretty annoying. We can be very conservative with our ammo here, and just poke the guys with 8 shots of the blaster, which I do recommend just doing, because there is invulnerability frames on them. If you just fire with the blaster on them, they will tank hits with invulnerability, which you probably don't want. The other guys, we can use the taunter again to get them to run into the lasers, which obviously is the most ammo converting thing we can do. Other than that, we have the gates again, and over there is one of those guys again, which I don't think we can reach. Yeah, he's out of reach, so we do have to fight him one-on-one. However, apparently the lasers move, which is really good for us. I forgot that happened. So yeah, we just taunt him and he runs into the lasers again, and we save a lot of ammo, which is obviously great. So we get rid of the rest of those lasers. And we can also just destroy this one to get back if we wanted to get ammo. But I don't think that the 14 shots I lost will be necessary for this fight. I will equip the Doom Glove first thing, because I do think I did actually fight this enemy once with only the branch, with only the Omni branch, and I don't know why I did that, but I did that. So technically it's not really an issue. The enemy itself is not really an issue. The spawns of the smaller enemies can be annoying, especially if you are used to the sidestepping mechanics. And I do recommend, if the fight gets hectic, just pause and, for example, just choose your weapons in the pause menu, because later games actually stop time once you use the quick select. But not this game. So next up are 2 mutants, which are not really a problem for the Agents of Doom. So they will be taken care of easily. And yeah, I think we will be done here. The agents will make quick work of that guy. And that was the first boss fight of the game. We did lose a lot of ammo of the Doom Glove, but we will get them back soon, easily. We also don't really need any ammo for the rest of the level, so it doesn't really matter. Also, we already got 2 back, so even if I think there's like 1 enemy here or something. Oh, it's the small ones. Okay, so we just get them away. They're trying to eat that guy.
Thought I was a goner this time. Some nano-wit in genetics must have left the cages open again.
You could come down now.
Honestly, a gadget engineer deserves a bit more respect, if you ask me.
So, you are an inventor.
Gadget engineer. I create revolutionary devices for Executive Chairman Breck. For instance, the Ola, my soon-to-be patented grind boots. Look, I need to get out of here so I can find a new job. How about I sell you these at cost?
Sell? After we just saved your scrawny butt?
All right. I'll give you the employee discount too.
Yeah, so we get an employee discount to get those grind boots after we literally just saved him from being eaten. But I guess you can't really you can't really blame the guy. He needs the money to get out of here. So we will pay 2,000 bolts. We do have enough.
Well, thanks. I'm gonna get out of here while I still can.
So we got the grind boots, which is a staple gadget of Ratchet Clank. Next to the swing shot, which basically turns up in every game. The grind boots also turn up in about every game of Ratchet Clank. I don't think there's any game where there are no grind boots. Alright, so for now we are done here. I do see that I forgot to check out whatever that little spot on the map is, but that's probably not too important if I didn't remember it and didn't check it this time. So we will go to the next level, which is, I think, Blackwater City, where we will go to play in the hoverboard games. Win the hoverboard race, yes, and locate Captain Quark. So we already know that Captain Quark is on in Blackwater City on Rilga. We did go through every path that was possible on all the other planets, so we will just easily say our next target is the hoverboard races and the Captain Quark headquarters on Blackwater City. Alright, so this is Blackwater City. In my opinion, one of the more beautiful places in the in Ratchet Clank. Just ignore that there's basically nothing in a in a 10-kilometer radius around the city. You can look up and see the whole city is obviously in a little bit of a state of emergency. Other than that, it's just a water-based city basically, and yeah, I do think that it looks very good. We can get a mine glove. I do not like the mine glove actually. It is basically a bomb glove with, I think, less ammo, and the only advantage is that the mines do not immediately explode. So I do not want to get it. I will stay with these core weapons, and I think I have demonstrated often enough that they are usually, you only need the blaster and the Agents of Doom for anything, and the suck cannon. I do like the taunter. The taunter is fun, but the taunter is also not a weapon that you need. It just helps a lot on the Blarg ship. So we can see that behind those gates are enemies. In the infobot, they have been described as basically the cleanup force. Those are robots. The tank is a robot, as well as the guy that you are seeing there. And problematically, those robots have been programmed to kill all organic life form, because the amoeboids are organic life forms. So they've sent robots to kill all organic life forms. Unfortunately, Ratchet is an organic life form. So they will immediately run towards us and try to kill us, which we obviously do not enjoy. Yeah, that tank over there is trying to poison us with some kind of poison beam. Unsure if amoeboids actually would react to that. I don't think they interact at all. However, this is, I think, the first time in a level where enemies will interact with each other. For example, well, there are enemies that already were able to shoot each other, because if you let them aim at each other, they will shoot each other. But I think this is actually the first time where we are introduced to two factions, basically, that will actually target each other to destroy each other. So we just destroyed this headquarters for some reason. They did ignore this one, but I do think there will be a cave later where you can just drop down into the cave, and I will show you that a little bit in detail. But basically you can go down into the cave, press a button, release the robot soldiers, and they will kill each other. Which is also a way of conserving ammo. But yeah, you see over there are 4 more of those guys. These guys can be dangerous because they are quite quick. So we actually do not want to let them come close if we can. Apparently there were already 6 guys. Yeah, they do get up close and can become a problem, especially because there are so many of them. However, if you use the bomb glove, you will... Right. So this is a situation where we can press this button and release those guys, and they will take care of that guy. And actually they will take care of each other. Yeah, other than that, I am in a little bit of a pickle here. Ow! Yeah. Good thing there's health over here. But yeah, this is the first time where these factions will attack each other and will take care of each other a little bit. You will have to do the cleanup because there are only very rare cases where they actually completely kill each other. But it is recommended to just let them fight each other and then come in and snag the rest of them with whichever weapon you prefer. And I do recommend, because those are big enemies which will not be able to be fit in the suck cannon. So the next best thing you can use is the bomb handshoe, the bomb glove. Not handshoe. It's still not handshoe in English. Yeah. So that's a strategy I really like to use. Especially because the ammo, of course, isn't too expensive, especially in the weapons that I have chosen. But for example, if you really like to use the Glove of Doom, if you overuse it, it becomes very expensive very quickly. And I can only recommend not to overuse it. But if the game already offers us some Glove of Doom ammo, then I shall absolutely use it. So in this city there are some manhole covers that will be for some reason under pressure. Ooh, that's not good. Apparently there are some graphics glitches here. I see. Yeah, for some reason the camera does not like this angle. I've never really... I did experience some graphics glitches here and there, but I don't think I've seen this one. It's not really dangerous. I know that there are, in Ratchet Clank, the way how they are streaming the textures is not the usual way, basically. So there can be some funny business like that. Okay, over there is a Blark, which is not an enemy, and he will talk to us. So let's talk to him.
Rhino for your robot. Trade you.
Well, okay.
Ratchet.
I'm kidding. Sorry, he's not for sale. What's a rhino anyway?
Rip ya a new one.
What did you just say to me?
R-Y-N-O. Rip ya a new one.
Why, that's the most powerful missile launcher in the galaxy. I know it's with a lot of bolts. He must have stolen it from the Blars.
Stolen? Look, trash can. Did I say anything about it being hot? You better watch your mouth or I'll...
Wait, don't tell me. Rip you a new one.
Yeah. So, obviously, if I could, I would buy that weapon immediately, because it is the best weapon in the game. However, we need 150,000 bolts for the Rhino. And even after being very conservative with our ammo, and me about getting every little bolt that I remember that you can get, I still have only 12,000 bolts. So you can imagine how long it would take to get that bolt amount. So I don't think we will get it in this playthrough, or at all. I think I don't know if I really want to sit around and farm bolts every day for like a week or two. Obviously, if you all want to see that, we can do that and do like a yapping stream where I just farm bolts, look up what's the best way to farm bolts, and just whoops. Yeah. So that would be a possibility, just a bolt farming stream, but I don't think that's too enjoyable. I know there are farming methods. I know you can be pretty fast, but it's still gonna take a lot of time. So yeah, only if that's like something you really want to see, we can do that. Other than that, I don't think I want to farm the bolts just to show off the Rhino. It is a fun weapon, and it does do a lot in a lot of situations. It's basically a rocket launcher that fires 9 rockets that auto-aim. So if there are a lot of small enemies, the rocket launcher will take care of the small enemies because of the amount of rockets it launches. And it does a lot of damage, so that the bigger enemies also just get taken care of, even if they take multiple hits. So it is a really powerful weapon, but it is also very pricey, and will usually not be able to buy it in the first playthrough. Now we have this little arena and a button, and in these arena cells are the robot extermination cores, which we will release while pressing that button. We have a ladder over there, so our mission is press that button, get to the ladder, and get out. This does not always work how I wanted to, so let's see if it works this time. Yes, I knew it. Those guys are there to prevent you from doing this. But we do get help, and they do take care of each other. So overall we traded 2 health, or more like 1 health. Not even, over there's still one more health pack. So we traded 0 health basically for a free fighting show, which is a win in my book. But yeah, the AI is set to basically prefer to attack you in most cases, especially those guys. And obviously if you try to get out of here and those guys block your way, then it gets messy pretty quickly for you. But this time it worked out fine. I still think 0 for a free room clean is a really good deal. Now we get a little bit of a barely out of reach gold bolt. We cannot get through these lasers. I am unsure if we can just taunt those guys to get in here. I guess not. We can break this stuff over there. It will stay there. But yeah, we will be going through this laser maze, and those buttons will each open a laser gate, and we have to be ready because the enemies will attack us as soon as we open the laser gate. And it can be a little tricky. Yes, like this. Nope, not what I wanted to do. As you can see, it can be a little bit tricky. Did I not just... Alright. Yeah. Because this is so close quartered, and most of the weapons are a little bit finicky to use. The close quarterings are not really that great to work in. I think... I don't know if this will open these guys up. Yes. So, yeah. They tried basically to bait me into thinking that the thing that will open up is this thing on the left, which would be obviously nice loot. However, it did not open the loot. It in fact opened the amoeboids. So yeah, just being a little careful and just looking beforehand what will get opened is a thing that you should do while maneuvering this maze. That guy was ready to go. I also was ready to go, and it opened a completely different laser gate. God damn it. Wasted 2 bombs there, but bombs are for 5 bolts each, so that's fine. We do have lots of enemies here, which I also want to take care of. However, this will not... again, juked. This will not open the gold bolt gate. You would think that this is basically the way to the gold bolt. It is not. The way to the gold bolt is completely different. and I will show it shortly, but I do want to show you what this does. Oh yeah, I think this will open this, yes. And this will basically make a sort of roundabout. And yes, over there, there are these 3 enemies, which I don't think we can attack from here. Whoa, that's another graphics glitch. Yeah, I think the only way we can hurt them is if we open this this button. I do think that our best option is using the agents and getting rid of the first wave. And after that, we take the pin and get rid of the other. Get rid of the other guys. If you aim, obviously, it's your hit rate increases massively. But I am not a person that aims. So, we went through the laser labyrinth and noticed that this broken button, which is the only broken button in the game, there's no other button that looks like this, I think. Which basically tells us we did this all for nothing, or if you are like me and think a little bit positively, we did this for some extra bolts. But yeah, the gold bolt is still over there, and some people might be thinking, well, how are you supposed to get there over there? To which I say, we will fly there, because you actually can balance on these gates, on these laser gates, and I will try not to fall down here, and you can get over here and just drop down. That's how you get this gold bolt. Alright. Now we can easily get out again. This button isn't broken, so it will open the gate. Easy peasy. And we can just keep on going through the level. But yeah, as a child I was stuck on this gold bolt for... if I remember correctly, it was like a week or something. Every day, when I had the time, just getting into this level, trying to get to the gold bolt, which was really, yeah, I think I should have done something better with my time. But on the other hand, I did enjoy trying stuff out, trying to get there. Like, I remember trying to do some kind of wall kick glitch that I thought might work, but it didn't. So, and in the end it was just easy, just flying over there and walking on those gates. But we've reached the end of this corridor and got to the hoverboard race.
Intergalactic Hoverboard Competition. Captain Quark's giving away a brand new platinum zoomerator to the winner of this competition.
A platinum zoomerator. Perhaps that will be the proof of your accomplishments that Skid's agent requires.
Wait, do you guys mean Skid McMarks?
Yeah, Skid couldn't make it, so we're here to, you know, fill in for him.
Guess we'll see about that.
Alright. So there is something I want to talk about, and some people think that even though Ratchet Clank has very crude humor at times. Some people will say that it's not okay, because there is this, I think it's an Easter egg, because there's no reason why it would interact the way it does like this. Some people say it's a glitch that shouldn't be there, and lots of people think that the thing that happens is kind of sexist. But again, I think it's just crude humor of the time. Obviously not something you would probably see nowadays. But I also don't know if it's in this version too. But you can do side flips in this area, and this woman's upper parts will grow in size, and I think that goes ad infinitum. So if you really want to overdo it, you can. But yeah, it's quite controversial. I think it's hilarious, but that might be because I've grown up with this type of crude humor. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that only in these older video games you will find. It's also very, like, how did you find stuff like that out? It's really funny. Raven's Remedy, hello, thank you for following. Enjoy the follow. Yes, I will. Thank you for being here. How's your day been? But yeah, my stance on this is funny. Most people probably will say it's sexist and shouldn't be there. But again, old game, crude humor that was off the time basically. Going pretty well, that's good. Pretty well is at least not bad. So we this button activates a little connector, which would lead us to this area, and I don't think we can see. Right, we can see a little what do you call it? Not a box, not a container either. It's like where the celebrities go when they are done with filming and stuff. The trailer, I think. Playing on the PS2 looks like shit, so I can assume you're playing on a modern day TV using an AV to HDMI converter with an HDMI splitter and a cap card. Exactly how it works, yes. That is exactly how this works. It obviously does look like poop because of 480p stretched onto an HD TV is not really something that will ever look good. You could probably do some AI upscaling, but I don't think that it's worth the extra calculating power just for it to look 8 times better. And even then, it's just assuming it will actually look 8 times better. Yep, interlacing looks horrible on modern television. Yes, also all the textures you see on the game are made on... They were made on CRTVs, like the old crystal displays and stuff. So everything you see has never actually been on some LCD or OLED display. So they were designing all the textures on hardware that definitely does not resemble any modern display anymore. Now PS2 uses different rendering tags than modern day consoles do. That too, yes. everything of the PlayStation 2 era has been done on completely different hardware and completely different human interface devices. So even if you upscaled everything, it would still probably be completely different experience than it is supposed to be. So yeah, that is basically it's not, I don't know, it's not worth it to try to make it better. 480i versus 480p are totally different. Yeah, I guess. Basically, usually people just say 480p. Of course, it is 480i, something completely different. On the other hand, those technicalities only matter if you try to convert stuff or try to work with the stuff. Other than that, usually people don't care. So yeah, but that's only the technical part. There's also the artistical part. For example, if you look at these textures, which are supposed to be some kind of grass, you'd probably do a lot of different things nowadays, because this already, together with the way that the textures are streamed on the PlayStation, especially in Ratchet Clank. I don't know if it's everywhere, but I do remember that the texture streaming on Ratchet Clank is a little bit different, which can lead to morphing and stuff. But you would also just draw this kind of texture completely differently nowadays. So there is so many layers of what would be different that I don't think that there's really a lot of stuff that you can do to make it look better other than make a complete remake, to be honest. Like, you could argue that that AI upscaling could potentially do stuff for you to make it look like it's a modern game. On the other hand, I completely messed up that jump, and I do know that I need to not mess up anything if I want to win this. So I will try to concentrate for a moment. But yes, no. But yeah, I don't think there... Goddammit. See me retry this. But I don't think that an AI upscaling is really the thing that is necessary for just enjoying the game. Want to go through there. I will come back to chat shortly. I try to get this done as quickly as possible. I do have the additional problem that I have a 2 to 3 frame delay in my inputs because of first of all the conversion and the capture card, and also I'm using a wireless controller, which obviously adds to the delay. So, goddammit. So it's really hard. I did it.
Captain Quark here. It is my my distinct pleasure to introduce this year's HoverCon Intergalactic Champions. Let's give it up for newcomers.
Ratchet and Clank. Hey, look, that's us.
Today's winners will take home a brand new professional-grade Model T15 Platinum Zoomerator. Manufactured by Gadgetron, this hoverboard drive delivers more lift, speed, and maneuverability than any other anti-grav device on the market. Well, folks, that's all the time we have. Tonight, remember to set your infobots to the Quark Classic channel for tonight's episode of Dogfight Over Death Canyon, starring yours truly. Thank you and have a Quark-tastic day.
Yeah. So, thank you for your patience. I wish they'd remastered the OG Ratchet Clank, like using the OG voice lines, just better graphics for a more modern day console. Yeah. I do think there would be the problem that it's noticeably lesser quality audio if you use the absolute original files. I do think that most remasters would enhance their experience if they just went and used the original files for most stuff. However, you also need to consider that that the OG voice lines might have some expired licenses and stuff on them. So depending on the contracts and stuff, you sometimes can't actually use OG voice lines. But that is highly individual per contract. But yeah, I do think that if you have original files lying around, it would probably definitely enhance the experience if you had a way to choose between original and new. But I also know that this is not always possible. So it is highly dependent on what also what the vision of the guy making the remake is. Because obviously some remakes also have stuff removed. And it is also, if you get the original voice actors, that's great. But it's also sometimes a great opportunity for new talents in the industry to just get their foot in the door for the industry. And in getting a role like this and potentially performing really, really well, they obviously also get the chance to build up their career on that. So I can see that that there are lots of ways to look at these kinds of stuff, and I guess in the end, if it's a console remake, there's usually not a lot of stuff you can do. But if it's a PC remake, you can technically get into modding, try to figure out how to mod stuff. Especially something like voice lines are usually just files that you can swap. So if you in some way can get the original voice lines, which sometimes are just on the internet, you don't get them for free. They are usually not something you should be able to get your hands on. However, sometimes you can, and in that case you can try to mod the games and try to implement those tiny things yourself. But that obviously also means that you will have to invest lots of time, and you will need to acquire a lot of knowledge, which isn't bad. I always think getting knowledge is always a great asset in almost no matter where what the knowledge is and where you get it from. because I talked about this some other stream, but basically you never know where you can apply a factoid from one field in a completely different field. For example, if we understood mycelium, like mushrooms and stuff, a little bit better, we might be able to make better city plans. Which is, I think, something that people actually are studying right now. Because the mushrooms have evolved to build networks that are highly efficient when it comes to resource management. So if we basically, you can take a mushroom, put some resources like sugars and stuff on the plate in the locations where, for example, resources like, I don't know, some metals, for example, some raw metals like mines. You can put the resources on the plate with the mushroom, with the mycelium, and it will basically make a street network that perfectly shows you how you should build the roads, more or less. This is obviously very dumbed down version of this, but it's funny that basically a mushroom can help us make better resource management networks. Alright, so this is one of the more scary parts of this game, because once we step on this button, this facility will be flooded with water, and the exit is over there. And we have this little parkour, which we will need to go through, and yeah, it's not that easy. There's also a little hidden entrance down here somewhere, which I will try and get, and we will get a gold bolt from that. However, we will have to drown because we will not get out again. So I will try to get the gold bolt. I will try it once. If I don't get it on the first try, this is meant to be a backtracking sort of thing. So I will just be doing the backtracking if I don't get it on the first try. Other than that, this section is already pretty hard, even if you're a little bit more experienced. So I might need more tries for this. Please bear with me on that. Because first of all, we can do 2 to 3 jumps here. We need to try and not get down there. However, we do want to get into this pipe, and I really hope that I can get this on this try already. However, I think, yeah, not only did I mess that up, but I cannot reach it. So I will just do it normally. We will come back here once I have the item that lets us backtrack here. Yeah, but as you have seen, it's basically a long pipe where we can dive through. So we will do that later. And I already messed up some movement, so whatever we gained at the start, we just lost. It is also pretty hard to navigate this this path, We do not want to fall into the water, obviously, because that massively slows us down. We want to scale this as soon as possible. We want to sprint forward. We need to hover here. Hovering already takes a lot of the speed out of our movement, so we want to hover as little as possible. And this is basically the part where we will usually drown. I did manage to not drown in this run, but it is extremely hard. And if you are too slow, basically fall down once and you can just try to restart immediately, because you will not make it at the end. But we do get a little bit of a bolt boost at the end of this corridor. For some reason, there are no enemies here. That's weren't there last time, I think. We also can remove them with the bomb block. And this is a little conductor to the hoverboard race. Now, this is a trailer of Captain Quark, and we want to talk to this guy.
Hey, press conference is over. Captain Quark don't want no more reporters bugging him in his trailer.
Oh, you see, my friend and I need to speak to the captain about a matter of galactic security.
You mean you and your walking camera? You paparazzi make me sick. Now beat it.
But sir, I'm sure the Captain Quark will understand once we...
Now, save it. I know how it works. You convince me to let you in. You snap a picture of the captain in his underpants. Then you sell a picture to the info tabloid for $1 million volts.
You've got it all wrong.
Meanwhile, I'm stuck here making 6 volts an hour, and I have to listen to a lecture from that cheapskate Quark. So you don't get in unless I get a kickback in advance.
Yeah. So that guy hates paparazzis, apparently a common problem for him. And he wants a little bit of money for his troubles with said paparazzis. So we kindly offer him a 4,000 volt bribe, and he lets us to Captain Quark.
See how it works. You grease the hinges, the door opens.
Captain Quark.
What's that?
It's Ratchet and Clank, Captain. You know, from the
Oh,
hoverboard.
yes, I know who you are.
You do?
Yes, and thank the galaxy you found me.
Huh?
There's an awful plot being hatched to destroy our planets.
Ratchet, he knows.
Great. Does that mean we can go hoverboarding now?
My friends, we're all in grave danger. And I believe that together, we can put a stop to this madness.
Together? You mean you want our help?
Look, Ratchet, I've been keeping an eye on you, and I've never seen anyone with such raw talent. You are a true hero in the making.
Really? You mean I could be famous?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, here, take this. What makes one man toil in obscurity while another becomes a hero? Is it strength, compassion, determination, or just pure blind luck? Wise men through the ages have struggled with that very question, but Captain Quark knows the secret. That's why he's been able to defeat more despots, rescue more damsels in distress, and save more civilizations than any other hero in the galaxy. Now is your opportunity to see if you've got the stuff heroes are made of. This infobot contains coordinates to Quark's secret base. Can you quickly conquer Quark's killer cannonade of confounded contraptions? Can you quickly... Oh, just make your way through the defenses to the center of the base. Prove yourself, learn the secret, and earn your place in galactic history. Consult your doctor before attempting any strenuous exercise. Not responsible for death or dismemberment. Your results may vary. Meet me at my headquarters.
Hey, Captain Ratchet. What do you think?
We won't fail you, sir. We promise.
Alright. I accidentally breathed in some water while the cutscene was playing, so I muted myself because obviously that water, where it went, it should not have went there. However, yeah, so we were just invited to Quark's absolute headquarters. This, his main base, so to speak. And we obviously want to go there because Captain Ratchet sounds pretty nice. Alright, no new weapons, but probably on the next planet there will be more weapons. Now, we did all the missions. I think we have overall... Oh, is my battery low? I think the battery is getting low. Is the battery of the controller getting low, or is there something... No, now it works again. I maybe... Does it work now? Okay, it works again. Or does it? I think it works again. Okay. Sometimes wireless controllers are a little bit finicky. Oh yeah, we did get the prize, so we will do a little bit of the... Oh, you know what? We won't do that now. We won't bring the prize to the agent, because I do know there's more stuff that we can backtrack on Iridia, so we will not do that. We also still can't get that. Still no dice here, and this is also... Alright, so there's currently nothing I want to backtrack already. So we will just go to Quark's headquarters. And in my opinion, this level is not the greatest. I like the boss fight. However, the level overall is not my favorite, to be honest. There's also a glitch that allows us to completely skip the level. I will not do that because A, it's a frame perfect trick that you need to do frame perfectly multiple times.
Welcome to my challenge course. Now is your chance to prove yourself strong and brave, like me. Conquer it, and you'll join in my fight against evil.
Haven't we done enough already?
What? I can't hear you.
I said, haven't we done?
Sorry, still having trouble. Tell me later.
Later? We might be dead by then.
What?
All right, Clank, let's get going.
Yeah. So, Ratchet doesn't really want to do this parkour. Me either. However, we have to do this parkour because Captain Quark thought it would be funny to be in a helicopter to talk to us and using a taunter instead of a actual megaphone.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
But apparently the taunter is some kind of megaphone, so I guess at least that part is okay. Yeah, but we will need to go through this abomination of a level, which is basically a single parkour, which is structured in a way that we go up and down and left and right and left and right until we get to the final room. And there's really not a lot of stuff I like about this level. It's fine from a story perspective, and hello, could you please... Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, so it's fine from a story perspective, and it makes sense that it's a parkour where you just go from A to B. But at this point in the game, there's basically nothing else to do. You really just have to do this. And it is more annoying than challenging because you have to do a lot of waiting. You have, for example, these mines that actually are really hard to see on the screen. And if you have the blaster, they will show a little reticle on them. So that helps a little bit with seeing them. Unfortunately, they are usually placed in spaces where you can't look like at all before encountering them. There are also these machine gun turrets over there, which are extremely annoying, which cannot be destroyed. They will just spin and go into the ground. And no matter how much you beat them up, they will not be destroyed. They will be there forever. And they are annoying as heck, and they are dangerous. Especially because their bullets basically are an AoE attack. So yeah, it's not easy. It's really it's very annoying. Like this part, you can technically just go through. However, there are these bomb turrets that you will need to take out beforehand because the range on them is pretty high. And if you stand here for a while, the mines will obviously loop back. So you actually, there's basically no other choice but to remove the mines beforehand, which will each take a blaster shot. And if you don't have the blaster already, you will be kind of forced to grab the blaster in this level. Otherwise, you will be sitting here with your Omni wrench, trying to remove those mines, and probably failing enough to the point where it's just really annoying. And it's not a good time. It really isn't. I do understand that it's nice that they are basically encouraging you to grab new weapons. Like, for example, the taunter, where they tell you, hey, you can use the taunter to taunt enemies to get them to run into the laser gates. And that is nice because the taunter still is optional. It does make things a lot easier, however you do not need him. And this on the other hand, where you are basically forced to buy the blaster because no other weapon will ever reach the bomb turret or the mines, is a little bit annoying in my opinion. Because yes, the blaster is quite cheap, but my personal opinion is that if you don't want to buy the blaster, then you shouldn't really need to. But that's my personal opinion, and I do want to remind everyone that this is basically a game from a time where best practices for video games did not exist yet. So usually while developing these games, you would have your ideas pitched into the room, and if they sounded like they could be fun, they were implemented, and they were basically pioneering the gameplay best practices that we enjoy nowadays. for example, something like for example in Mario, I don't think that, or I can't remember that there is something like I'm going to say now, but in, or I think in Lost Levels, maybe in Lost Levels, or as it is known in Japan as Super Mario Bros. 2, but in our Western world is Super Mario The Lost Levels. I think there is a point in the game where you need to have a mushroom to progress, because they will hit you with something that you cannot avoid. So they check if you have the upgrade, the mushroom, and if you don't have the mushroom, you can't get it, and you will just die at that point. Which nowadays we basically have best practices for those kind of situations. And if it's not a Super Mario Maker level where the puzzle is to have that mushroom, and specifically then it's a puzzle and not a jump and run, that will usually be considered bad practice if you do it. So yeah, this game is from an era of not having those best practices and bad practices available. Now, this is a really annoying part, because we are under a time limit and we are constantly getting cut at, and god damn it. Yeah, we need to press those buttons, which are kind of hidden, partially, while we are getting shot at, while trying to get a hold of the movement, while being at risk of just running into mines, and overall not a great time. It does give a little bit of a feeling of suspense. However, I'm in Ratchet Clank. Usually, if you have a quote-unquote fighting area, it is usually designed in a way where you just can take cover and stuff. And in this case, it's just, okay, you either clear the whole area beforehand, and you can completely clear it. You can completely clear it because of the turrets. The turret will always respawn, and you will usually not have the time to take care of them while running. The downtimes are, downtimes of the turrets are not generous, so they will come back very fast. And there's also the problem of this being partially close quarters, and the camera will kind of get stuck at some geometry, sometimes, a little bit, and will just behave weird. So movement, running, trying to not get killed by the turrets while trying to not run into any mines, it's not the greatest, in my opinion. But yeah, it's manageable, but it's not my favorite. Now we have this this little area where just some mines are running around, which you can just blast away. Again, if you don't have the blaster at this point, this is torture to deal with. I did press the button, but for some reason Ratchet did not feel like shooting. But yeah, if you have the blaster, it's easy going, so can only recommend getting the blaster, even if you don't want to use it otherwise. It is quote-unquote already required in Metropolis, because there is a Because there is a helicopter, which you can run under, but is not really recommended to do, because you will take 1 or 2 hits at least. I do seem to remember that this is a thing that we can open, and I do seem to remember that the entry point is somewhere in this maze to open that door. So I will take a quick look around, try to find it. I am low on life, and if I die here, I will... First of all, I will cry, because I will be sent to the absolute start of the level again. So I will try to concentrate a little bit. But I can't seem to find the access point. Okay, I will look over there once more. I can't remember where it was. It's somewhere here, I swear, but I don't. I'm not gonna risk it, because I don't want to go through the whole level again. I know that there's somewhere an access point for the hacking tool, but I really don't want to risk that right now, because I do not want to go through the whole level again to this point. The game is not really forgiving when it comes to dying in a level, especially in this kind of level. And I might try to come back later and get that gold bolt. I think that's a gold bolt. I can view it from here. But I think there's a gold bolt that basically is behind a closed door, and I do want to get it, but I don't want to risk going through the hell spot over there again. I really don't. I really don't like this level, so once I'm done with this, I might go back. Yeah, but this is more of the chill area of this level. I do like this area a lot more than the rest of the level, because it actually requires a little bit of brain power to understand what you are doing and what you want to achieve. Especially with these enemies, like they will try to eat you immediately once you go down into their aquarium. However, obviously, if there is no water, they are like a fish on land and will not really be able to attack you. They are at a severe disadvantage in the dry, but at a severe advantage in the wet. So we will reapply the water once we have taken care of all the fishes. Oh, all the fish. What was it? The plural of the same species of fish is fish, but the plural of multiple species of fish is fishes, which I did not learn in school, but on Instagram, I think. So, yeah. So much for school. Go away, fish. Yeah. That being said, there is lots of stuff I only learned after I was finished with school, which I think that should actually be compendium of at least like high school or something. Like there's lots of stuff you do learn in school that is really completely useless, but obviously there is stuff that is actually useful. Like I do think that English classes, obviously, even though I kinda what would you call it? I kinda throw shade at English classes for not teaching me the difference between fish and fishes, but I do think English as a mandatory language makes a lot of sense, specifically because it's already established as like the global language to communicate with most people. But I also think like stuff like there's a lot of math that is really not useful in everyday uses and gets taught anyways to people who will probably never need it. Like I think that at most if it's what would you call it? If you looked at everyone, basically, whoever needs, like, I don't know if they are called, in German, they are called binomische Formeln, which is probably something like binomic formulas in English. And in general, they are not the hardest thing in the world to someone like me who has a innate understanding of mathematics. But I don't think that everyone, or I think that about 4% of people will ever need binomic formulas for anything. At most, this is a very generous assumption, I think. And yeah, it's nice that this is taught in school, but I don't think that you should fail a grade just because you don't understand that kind of math, because it's really not useful for most people. And just saying, hey, we need something to teach in math, then I would rather, I really like the more philosophical approach to mathematics, because in my opinion, math at the end of the day is more of a language than anything else. So I would rather have the philosophical approach to mathematics taught to people than the actual cold hard mathematics, because people will not remember how to use binomic formulas, but they will probably remember why the history of Zero, for example, is such a big deal. Anyways, we have Captain Quark over there. We did his stupid little parkour, and we will now claim our title as Captain Ratchet.
Well, you two continue to surprise me. Step into the ring of heroes, and I will finally give you what you deserve.
Ratchet, this is no time for you to become cautious. We have reached our goal.
I don't know. There's something fishy going on here.
Listen to your little metal friend, Ratchet. Your destiny is mere steps away.
It's just something doesn't seem right.
This is it. Quark is going to help us stop Chairman Drek.
Why, thank you, Clank. You've been most helpful.
Get off of me, you idiot!
I love it when a plan comes together.
What do you mean?
What do you think he means, genius? He's not gonna help us. He's gonna kill us.
You catch on quick. Although there is one problem with your hypothesis, I'm not going to kill you.
You're not?
No, he is.
But why?
But why? It's really not that difficult to decipher. I'm the official spokesman for Drek's new planet. I can't have you two getting in the way of my comeback.
This isn't over, Quark.
No. But it will be soon.
Yeah. So, Captain Quark ought to be a hero. Not that much of a hero, actually. He set us into his little lair with his little friend here, who is a Blargian, I think was called a snuggle monster. Or at least in German it's called a Blargianisches Schnaggelmonster. And yeah, we got betrayed by Quark because corruption. And we are now fighting this monster, which has a pretty high health pool, which is not a problem because, as you will see, we have these bridges here, which we can use to let that guy sink in to the pool of lava, and we... Whoops. He loses one whole health bar every time we do this. So the health pool actually is not that big. Because this is going to happen at least 3 times. And whoops, I forgot that happens. Yeah, we can also use these bridges to get a little bit of space between us and the monster. Specifically, he will not... Whoop, that was close. He will not get over here. We can basically just sit here and relax a little bit. However, he does do his little laser thingy, and we will get hit if we just stay in one place. However, we can use that little island to catch a little bit of a breath. And... oh, I totally forgot that happens. Yeah, our Agents of Doom have a little bit of a problem reaching that guy if he does his little stompies. Which means our best options are actually to use the blaster or the bomb block. I do recommend, because you will probably have gotten it anyways, to use the blaster. For multiple reasons. You have a very kind movement, you have very kind movement options that the other items will not give you. For example, you can only throw bombs while moving if you jump in the air, I think. Or it's at least very hard to oh no. It's at least very hard to hit anything with the bomb glove if you are trying to do it while moving. And the blaster basically gives you the option to just stand here, press the circle button, and oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 my ammo. Okay. So we just lost all of our ammunition because the guy used a tornado breath, basically, to get rid of our ammo. And our blaster ammo went into a very unfortunate position. So I will try to pick all of that up again. But this is the last phase, the last thing this monster will do. He will come over here to the bridge. We have basically already won. I don't think he does anything anymore. And he will step on the bridge and sink into the lava. Yeah. So that was this boss fight. I've had easier boss fights, to be honest, especially because I really from the later entries of this game, there are really nice quality of life features they added. For example, the sidestepping. And it's just, if you've ever used them, you will just miss them in this game.
I wonder what that infobot is for.
Maybe it can replace you.
We're pinned down! We're pinned down! The ships are hammering our position from the air! That was a little too close! We need support! Now! Actually, I need support. My entire battalion went AWOL and left me to fight this war on my own. If the enemy doesn't kill those guys, I will. I'm not gonna last much longer. Requesting immediate assistance. Over and out.
Those are direct ships destroying that planet. We must help that commando.
Are you serious? That's it. I am out of here. Captain Quark is gonna be sorry he messed with me.
This is not about Captain Quark anymore. There are innocent lives being lost.
Yeah? Well, I'm done with this stupid hero stuff. I got my own agenda now.
Ratchet, this is not like you.
What do you know about me? You've spent this whole time looking for Quark. You don't know anything about me.
I know that you will do the right thing.
Well, right now the thing I want to do is find Quark. How do you start this stupid thing?
Have you forgotten? You need a robotic ignition system. I will start the ship if you agree to help that commando.
So, blackmail is it? Fine. Just shut up and start the ship.
Back so soon?
Oh, you're talking to me.
I'm not in the habit of talking to myself, you buffoon. Did you get rid of them?
Yes. No. Well, I had this plan, and I thought...
You thought? I do the thinking around here, you slug-brained idiot. I simply needed you to eliminate those two nuisances before they can cause any real trouble.
But I wanted to
Do you still want to be the highly paid spokesman for my planet?
Yeah?
Then the next time I send you to do a job, I want results. Now get out of my sight!
Yeah. So Greg was not really fond of us surviving, and Ratchet is a little bit mad that Clank got tricked. But you gotta understand, Clank is new to this world, so yeah. We are meeting the commander right now.
Attention, you deserting maggots! The next next time you soldiers try to go AWOL, I'll shoot you myself.
Look, I just want to...
Zip it, worm! You see those bombers? If you don't get to the turrets and knock those ships out of the sky, this whole planet's gonna be rubble! Meet me at the city entrance.
He needs our help.
Yeah? Why don't you go help him into another trap? Well, go on. Go fight some evil.
At least I'm not a coward.
Whatever. As soon as I find Quark, I'm selling you for scrap.
Yeah. So, that cutscene actually was long enough for my controller to disconnect again, and I will shortly make sure that nothing is wrong. Okay. So, yeah, Ratchet is a little bit mad. The corporal or whatever rank this gentleman we just met is thought we were one of his soldiers and promptly recruited us to meet him at the city entrance. However, as we are obviously normal citizens, we first of all buy a new gun, which is a rocket launcher, as citizens do. And this Devastator is one of the 2 best weapons this game has to offer. This is such a great weapon because it has a really far reach. The blaster pretty much has medium reach, and the Devastator has long range.
Did you know you can place any gadget or weapon on a quick select? Just pause and choose quick select from the menu.
Yeah, so this is the time where I will banish some stuff from the quick select. I will basically, what I usually do at this point in the game, I will just clear out the whole thing. Will place my favorite weapons to the easy access slot and add the other weapons to some of the side slots. Alright, I do want to have the swing shot at that point, because the swing shot is the only gadget I want as a quick access. Other than that, I don't really want any of the gadgets in here, because they do take up more space than necessary. So the next weapon we will buy will take up that slot, and other than that I do not want any of the gadgets in my quick slot, because you can just press pause and select the gadget. And there's no real reason to keep them in the quick slot. Yeah, I just got trapped. Anyways, we will not meet the fine shouting gentleman at the city entrance right now, because I do want to use my newly acquired grind boots to have a little bit of fun here and go through this grinding section, which I hope will go well, because there is still the problem I have where I have to react with a little bit of delay. Yeah, and as you can see, this is not easy. So I do hope I will just be able to get through here and just be done with it. Because this is a lot of fun if you don't have to work with like free-frame delays, which actually, when it comes to inputs, is a lot. I think attacking those is partially easier. Alright, okay. Yeah, I think attacking is easier than jumping. Because I think the time frame of the attack is a lot more than the actual jumping time frame. Yeah, I think I want the extra bolts. I do want every bolt I can get. That was a little bit too early. Oh. Alright.
Halt! Who are you? What are you doing?
We are on a mission to save the galaxy.
Speak for yourself and put your hands down. You look ridiculous.
Actually, I don't care who you are. I've got to get the heck out of here. I joined the army to get money to go to college. I never knew I'd end up in a war. Go figure.
This is a noble cause, sir.
Noble my hiney. I just want to get home to my family. Here, I pulled this off a busted robot. Give me some bolts for bus fare and it's yours.
Yeah, so we have a deserting soldier which tried to make some money from the army and didn't think there is going to be any war. You can build your own opinion on that. I do understand that he wants to see his family and he needs some bolts to get there, so we will kindly pay him the 2,000 bolts he needs to get back to his family.
Thanks a bunch. Good luck saving the galaxy or whatever.
Greetings, Supreme Executive Chairman Drek. As you can see, we're about to test our newest automated pilot's helmet. This helmet allows pilots to control our latest high-tech fighters using only their thoughts. Please enjoy the demonstration. We still have a few minor adjustments to make.
Oh, if they ever get the kinks worked out of that thing, I have got to get me one of those.
If they are working for Chairman Drek, they may know where he is.
Is that all you can think about? Drek this, Drek that? I got my own problems.
If you cannot see the importance of this situation, you do have problems.
Yeah? Well, if you're so smart, how come you fell for Quark's stupid trick? Ah, forget it. We both need to get to this planet, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, so they're still bickering. They are slowly making up. But yeah. So what we saw was a pilot helmet that we will need to remotely control a ship, a fighting jet or similar. And obviously Ratchet wants that gadget because gadgets are great. So our next goal is to get to that facility and grab the helmet, but let's get rid of this. But we will not go there yet, because I think I will, first of all, I think I will die here, because I already don't really have a lot of health left. I can get one more hit. Alright. Yeah, the Devastator is OP because it will seek. You can just fire it in a general direction and it will seek its target. It is such a strong weapon. It is way too OP. Or not too OP, but it is a soft requirement for every ongoing level, because I do not think it that you will get through the game properly if you don't have it. Yeah. Because it's just so strong, the damage is not comparable. The auto aim is just so extremely necessary almost, and you will not get another weapon like that within the next few levels. There is another weapon that is definitely not like this gun. Like, the Devastator is basically unique in the way it is that you can utilize it. And if you didn't get the... If you have... Oh, right, there's a gold bolt up there. If you didn't save up to this point to get it, you can get through this level, but it will be so much harder than it needs to be. And again, it's just really great to have. Like, you can just go in, you can just fire in this general direction and it will take out the enemies that are flying over there. You can also go into the aim mode and you see how far away this enemy is, and we still get the lock on and can just knock him out. You would never be able to do that with the blaster. Just straight up, you will not be able to. So yeah, this is whoops. This is my weapon of choice. Obviously, it's not a for all remedy, as I have just fired 5 rounds into the air that didn't pick up the target. But if they have enough flight time, they will just auto-aim. So basically, just don't use it too close. If you don't use it in too close range, it will just basically work itself out where it needs to go. So down there are more of the Blarg enemies. We do need to get the bolt switch. We do need to put that into the ground. This guy will be problematic, so yeah, our Agents of Doom make quick work of him. Over there is are some bolts, and I think you can, from a later part of the stage, yes, you can. Oops. You can fall down here to also get here. I do not recommend that, but you can do it if you want to. And we will now screw in the bolt to extend this bridge, and I think we just saw some kind of robot just go into the air, which I think was the sign that the tank will now get out to defend this bridge. And obviously this tank is not our friend, so we will need to get rid of it, which we do with I think 6 shots of the Devastator, which yeah, I do not recommend to do in any other way, because the Devastator already has so much damage that... Oh, right. Nice. I don't know what type of enemy that was, but as you saw, I just shot in his general direction, and the rocket just followed him and beat him up, basically. I think over here is some... Well, there obviously is something. Let's go. I forgot that this is actually here. Good thing I saw that. Free gold bolt and free money. Free ammo as well. Also, which something I really appreciate is that the Devastator per ammo case you can pick up will always get 2 rockets, which is fantastic. I would have assumed that it would be only 1 because it's such a strong weapon. But yeah, I'm getting in a crossfire. I, for some reason, did not take any damage from that crossfire. Yeah, that was kinda dangerous, kinda stupid. But yeah, it's basically, other than the Rhino, is the Devastator is basically the best weapon in the game, in my opinion. Alright, we are extending this bridge again. And getting rid of that guy, I hope. So, we extended the bridges. I think there is no tank on that bridge. There was also still one of those guys who jump into the ground. That has been taken care of by my Agents of Doom. And we see the fine shouting gentleman over there that wanted to meet us here. It seems that we have no bridge that leads into the city, so we will get an explanation from him what we need to do.
I've tried everything I know short of nuclear weaponry. No, never mind.
Well, we tried. See ya.
Not so fast, soldier. You're going into that compound even if I have to throw you. Aha! That ventilation shaft leads to the turret platform. Soldier, find a way to use that shaft to infiltrate the compound undetected. You've shown bravery by making it this far, soldier, and for that, I reward you. I intercepted this communique that you might find useful. Take it. I'm off to find my battalion. Good luck.
Hello once again, fellow blog. I hope this message finds you well. As many of you know, our home planet is no longer habitable. We've abandoned our factories, our laboratories, and our happy lives because of the encroaching pollution, leaving much behind. Fortunately, the nearby planets will supply us with all we need to create our new home, which is nearing completion. Once our scientists locate the ideal orbit, our new world will be perfect. So reserve your space now. Prime locations are filling up fast. Good day.
Now do you understand why we must stop him? He won't rest until he has destroyed every planet in the galaxy.
Yeah? Well, I got bigger fish to fry.
Bigger than the galaxy?
Well, different fish anyway. Look, didn't that commando guy say we could get into that compound?
Yes, by using the ventilation shaft. But we will need something special to walk on that.
Fine. Let's get going then. We'll come back later.
You will need a pair of Gadgetron Magna boots to traverse this ventilation shaft. Unfortunately, our scanners do not detect any Magna boots on this planet.
Yeah, so we've just been informed that there are so-called Magna boots, which will let us walk on this ventilation shaft, which is designed in a way that is not really a flavor win, but yeah, it serves the function of letting us know that there are those boots and we will need them to progress. Unfortunately, they are not on this planet. Fortunately, we do have 2 more planets that we can explore. However, I am thinking... well, I do think that we... I don't know. There is one planet. I don't know how long it will take to get through. Because it is quite a little time. But sure, why not? We will search the laboratories of Auckland. I think that's still within a good time frame. And we will see what we can grab from those laboratories. This is the home planet of the Blarg that they told you at the beginning that it's very toxic. So Ratchet will not actually... Yeah. We need an O2 mask for organic life on this planet. Unfortunately, Ratchet is an organic life form, and that means that only Clank will be running around on this planet for now. Seeing that there is the Gadgetron merchant, we can figure out that Ratchet will be available later. However, we are currently just Clank running around on this extremely toxic planet. Mind you, that toxic does not equal corrosive, so Clank will probably be fine even if he is sitting around here on this planet for long times. I do like how this enemy is apparently waiting for me to move and reacting to it. But we will not engage this enemy because it's a little bit bigger and will probably beat our bottom if we try to engage. So we will leave him alone for now. However, we do have our little gadget bros.
Gadgetbots can't climb, but you can use your enter command to send them into the bot port.
Yeah. So these guys are a little less on the climbing side of robots. They do lack arms, but they do have a tail. So yeah, they do have some kind of appendage, I guess, that they could use for certain interactions, but they cannot climb. So we will have to send them through these teleporters, which we also can use. And they will just go through there. Now we can actually engage with the enemy. If our bodies get the memo. Alright, we do... If these guys get killed, we do need to get back and grab them. Yeah, like that. Is he going to... Yeah, he exploded. We will need to get back and grab him. So we try to avoid killing them, because they also each have their own assigned spawn platform. So if you are unlucky, you will need to run far back to get them again, which is obviously not what you usually want to do. So yeah, we know that. So you usually want them to live if possible. Ah, bad frog. And it is recommendable, because I don't think any of the attacks of the enemies are area of attack in this game. We basically can just mass attack any enemy that gets in our way to basically improve the survival chance of our buddies. But yeah, most of the time we will be basically trying to solve, quote-unquote, solve riddles, where we need to send our guys through the teleporters to get to other destinations, or try to navigate some kind of terrain to grab all of them and then get to an endpoint. Which is fun if you do it the first time, but I do think it gets kind of boring. It is, however, really fun to see like 20 of them running behind you and just massively destroying an enemy like that. Yeah. These were 4 guys. Just imagine 20 of them like eating that crap just alive. Alright, so we got six of them in the teleporter. I do want to grab the bolts that were dropped here. And then we can send them in the tube. Alright. Next up, we got this little riddle. We have a door and a ledge where they cannot go up from. However, we have this button, and unfortunately, if I just jump up here, they will lose sight. So what we want to do is tell them to follow us, and we actually need the wait command. So they can just sit there, and I will shortly take them. Hey, how's it going? It's going great. I think I will be able to do this level, basically, not completely. There are restrictions where we need to come back later. However, currently we are on Oxen, which is the home planet of the antagonist that is completely polluted, and we can't get Ratchet out of the spacecraft because Ratchet is a little bit of an organic life form, and toxins and organic life forms do not mix well. So we have Clank running the whole operation of retrieving whatever he can retrieve from the planet. So we have been finding these little gadget bros over the facility that help us get through these rooms, which are basically puzzle rooms, and because the little gadget bros do not have any arms. They cannot climb any walls or ledges. So we need to help them a little bit. And to do that, we find those teleporters usually. And in hopes that they will be able to move through the next areas with us if we help them up, they will at the end go into a little door frame, like a little port, where they will open us doors, and we will take their nice gesture of just going through the doors to help us. Reminds me of Pikmin a little bit. Yeah, I can see that. They are kind of like, I have this command menu. So they're basically follow, wait, enter, and attack. So yeah, basically like Pikmin, I guess. Yeah. We do have a little trap here. These TNT bombs will explode once our little guys run into them. Obviously, we don't want that to happen because we will lose all of our little guys. So we explode them beforehand and get our little guys to come over here. Now, I think this is the next level or puzzle solved, not the level. Let's go, get in there. And... ooh, not close enough. Let's go. So this is kind of a laboratory that we saw in the infobot that led us here, and I think we... oh, is it not here? Oh no, over there, okay. We do get an important item that we are going to need on another planet. What platform are you playing this on, by the way? This is original PlayStation 2 hardware with an AV to HDMI adapter, which goes into a HDMI capture card. So this is all original.
These magna boots are a device designed for climbing special metal surfaces. However, your feet appear to be too small to equip them.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So, this technically could already be the end of our exploration of the Auxin planet. However, we only got the Magna boots, and I do want to get to the end of the level, for Clank at least, because we will be able to backtrack later, or we have to do this later anyways. So we will just do it right now. This part is a little more tricky because we basically just went through more like a tutorial stage, but we will absolutely need to come back later anyways for story purposes. So yeah, what I want to do is basically finish the Clank part of the level, and I think this will fit into the time frame I set out. We do need to be careful. This little guys can absolutely activate the TNT boxes, which we need to avoid because they will, in the explosion, they will get killed. And all the mines that fall from the sky also will kill those little guys. And yeah. And we lost one. So I will tell those guys to wait here. I did want to avoid that, but unfortunately they do have kind of a mind of their own, so we will just go through this bomb field and try not to explode. And I think I will just risk just going straight through, because we can navigate through that without exploding our little guy. But he is a little bit slower, not much, but he is a little bit slower, and we do need to be a little bit more careful. So now it's really gonna be troublesome that these guys cannot climb any ledges. We need to wait for these fire sprites to kinda move. And then we need to go, because they also will kill our little buddies, which we do not want. And we can just wait them out. They are on a set path, so we just wait and then go. Our buddies can get stuck at corners, which is unfortunate. So we will try to not get them stuck at any corners. Oh, I guess I can't go there. I do need to go over here. So yeah, we made it through without any losses, which is nice. Yeah, so this guy just got stuck in a corner, so we need to tell him to follow us again. And I will put them here, because I do want to get the bolts. Yeah, over there are some more boxes. Because, as I said earlier, bolts are obviously always good to have. The last weapon we bought was the Devastator, and the Devastator is basically the best early available weapon in the game. There is a weapon that you can actively farm bolts for later, but you will usually not get it in the first playthrough because it's so pricey. And the Devastator is basically the best weapon you can get in the first playthrough, because it's... whoops, the camera does not want to go through the walls. But yeah, the Devastator is basically a rocket launcher that you can fire in the general direction of an enemy, and it will take care of that enemy. And it is only one rocket, but you have a magazine of 20, and one rocket is usually enough to get rid of any enemy. Would you kindly... That guy is ready to go. Unfortunately, our little buddy is not ready to go. Excuse me? Come back here. Yeah, so in order to save ourselves some health packs, I will... Why are you doing that? In order for us to save some health packs, I will just keep sending this guy to attack. And now we will have... No! See, that's why you want to save those health points, because there are goddamn ninja frogs that will just take away your health. So, yeah, we want to be a little bit more careful here. Especially because the bigger crabs are actually kind of dangerous. So we always want to send our little guys first, because they have the unique ability to not be dead forever. Instead, they will just respawn on the locations. And we only need to pick them up again. If we tried to do the same, we will just spawn at the very beginning of the level, because this is an old game where easy mode was not invented yet. So we need to be a little bit more careful with our choices, because they do still have some consequences. Especially if you are a little bit slow and don't make the correct decisions right away. Let's grab those again. But yeah, this is the point of the game where you basically amass like 20 of these little guys and they follow you. I am actually quite astonished that it does not lag out the PlayStation in any way, because this is something the consoles back then had trouble with. Just lots of AI at the same time. And yeah, astonishingly, they don't have any problem. Like, I don't feel any more input lag or something. Frame rate seems to be stable. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed. So we just used them to activate the turret that destroyed some bad gunships that were trying to ambush us. But yeah, the gun fired them away, shot them away. So we can grab our infobot over here, our little infobot friend.
Better not let Ratchet see this one.
Yeah. So Clank is a little bit concerned of what he saw there. He doesn't want Ratchet to see what is on this infobot. And we'll see how that resolves once I return to the ship.
Hey, you giving me these or not?
They are magnetic. I appear to be stuck to them.
Oh. What do you have in there?
Gears, metal filings, dust.
You know what I mean. What is it?
I will show you this, but you must promise to stay focused on our mission.
Is it something about Quark?
Cities are full of smog, swamps are full of muck, and tar pits are full of tar. But here at Joe I Resort, the sun shines 24 hours a day. Visitors get a free O2 mask to explore our warm water. The benign marine life will welcome you to the big blue world under the sea. You can also use our complimentary flippers to partake in speed swimming. So come to Joe I Resort and leave your world and your troubles behind.
July Resort, Pokitaru.
I knew it.
Oh, come on. Switch off your nerd circuits and have some fun. Look, we'll go just long enough to pick up the O2 mask.
Perhaps the extra oxygen will help your brain to function properly.
Yeah, and maybe the salt water will rust your mouth shut.
Alright, so we got the Magna Boots, which will let us get into the city of Fort Kontos. And we also got new coordinates for Pokitaru, which is a resort planet where we will go next time. I think I will... Yeah, I will I will load us into the port, because If I remember correctly, there is not... it is basically done, but we will get a gadget, which is almost useless, but yeah, to get this to the end, because it's almost done completely. Like, we have only that thing to do, and we can do it. So I want to do it next time. I will save now and go a little bit into the post-yaps. Because it is already kind of late. And yeah. I really had fun today. It was really chill. And I want to thank everyone who showed up today. Let me each give you a shout out. I don't think that Tikare is streaming, but I do think that everyone else that was in chat today is streaming. So first of all, Jay. Jay is a Blue Jay VTuber who played Factorial today. He's a really cool guy. So if you follow him on Blue Sky, you will see he is actively promoting other VTubers. And otherwise, he's a really, really chill guy. Then we have the Raven. Shoutouts to the Raven. I don't think I've seen any of your streams before. So I will leave you a follow and check out what you're doing next time. So thank you. You apparently last time you did American Truck Simulator. So yeah, I am. I see that I catch your next stream. And Razor, who is a really cool guy, a wolf VTuber with a full-on wolf pelt. And the last few games he played were Minecraft and I don't remember the name. It was a Half-Life, basically the Combine, one of the Combine stories, with which was really cool. And also, I think still actively playing Alien Isolation. I think you weren't done with that, if I remember correctly. But I do remember that last time Minecraft didn't really work out. So maybe, I don't know if Minecraft is still on the plate. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it, even if you're just listening. It's always nice to know that someone is out there listening to me. And yeah, I had really lots of fun, really lots of fun today. And I do have a specific raid target in mind, actually. We did raid Robin like a few days ago already, so I don't want to spam my raids onto Robin. But that is fine, because I think we can raid Selinuna, which is a Black Panther Mafia boss. And currently she is doing React content, but I really like her. She's pretty cool. Last time she played Borderlands, and yeah, I think you are going to enjoy what she has usually has to offer. Other than that, thank you all for watching. If you want to be an active participant of the raid, I do have a raid message. And thank you all for the follows, and I hope I can see you next time. My schedule, you will find my schedule on Twitter as well as Blue Sky. I do post on both of these platforms. You will not miss out on any content on either platform. I do just basically post information and my schedule. Other than that, I do take recommendations and feedback and stuff on an email I provided in the in my about section. So if you have any feedback or suggestions, for example, if you want me to check out a specific messenger platform like Twitter or Blue Sky, where because I don't know why you don't have Twitter or Blue Sky, so you use the third option that I should check out to put my schedule there, then absolutely feel free to send me any suggestions on there. And if you found anything weird, like I don't know, I said something on stream and you didn't really agree with that for specific reasons, and you want me to know those reasons, you can also send me feedback. So that is always appreciated. And other than that, I hope to see you around. I will now start the raid. If I remember how that works again. Whoops. All right. Yes, so I've started the raid. Thank you again, everyone, for being here, checking out my content. I'm not really a man of many words, so thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. And I hope to see you all on Friday when we are going to play Slime Rancher. Other than that, I will be playing Ratchet Clank every Monday. And Saturday is VR day, so if you are into VR, please check out my channel on Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye!